What's going on, everyone? So, Sidney Prescott is obviously the final girl. The Ghostface killings have always centered around her. In every film, it seems to take more and more of a toll on her. I mean, Scream 1, she seemed to come out more ahead, more stronger than before, though we don't know for sure. I mean, there was a 2-year gap between 1 and 2, and I've always kind of speculated what happened after that. I would love a series or something kind of explaining that period. But if you want me to make a video sort of diving into possible ideas and theories, let me know down in the comments below. But Scream 2, she clearly is, sort of guarded, which is understandable. But not so much that she doesn't have a boyfriend and she doesn't have her friends and family involved. Scream 2 happens and now she's just kind of shut down. She's having that mental toll being visualized on screen. I mean, she's having hallucinations of her mother. She's working with the crisis counselors so that way she can feel better about herself by helping others. It's that I've gone through this struggle, I've gone through this pain, let me help other people, and it's a beautiful thing that's the way she kind of copes with it. And she's still strong, but you can see the toll starting to really take over. I mean, even the original script for Scream 3 was supposed to dive in more to her sort of mental state and how she was sort of breaking down in a lot of ways. Scream 4, she seemed sort of, reinvented, rejuvenized. She seemed stronger. She made the whole book, went on the tour, and did all this stuff to show that, like she's not hiding no more. This is it. Well, I wanted to make a video sort of diving into where she would be as far as mental-wise in the upcoming Scream 5. But before we get started, be sure to like this video. It helps me out a lot, lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel, followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. Let's get into it. Sidney has now experienced 4 horrific traumatic events. I mean 5 if you count her mother, which was horrific and tragic in and of itself. And to a year later be in the center of the Woodsboro killings, that's gotta be just emotionally and mentally draining and exhausting. That's gotta just be completely deflating. And then to experience that 3 more times, I mean, even the strongest person would be complete wreck. They would be mentally and physically exhausted, and it would be understandable. So what if this explains Sidney's return to Woodsboro? I mean, a common psychological practice is to have victims return to scenes or places where they experience these traumatic events in order to overcome them and conquer their fears and get over their sort of mental state. What if Sidney ended up in a psych ward or needed treatment and had a manic episode or just completely broke down? It would be completely understandable. Nobody would fault her for being just in this mental space. And again, Scream 3 was really adamant about focusing on her mental state. So much so that the original script, again, dived into that whole idea and just wanted to really give us quality scenes and elaborate scenes of her mental state. I could see them doing something like this in Scream 5. Because again, after 4 of these experiences, going into the 5th, which obviously her character doesn't know, but just the 4 alone, plus her mother, that's gotta just be, it's gotta be just the worst thing anyone could ever go through. I mean, that is horrific. She can't trust anybody because all of her friends and family have just completely been either a part of it or killed. So she has no one essentially other than Gail and Dewey. And even then, I mean, they're married, they have their lives. Dewey's the sheriff, he's doing his thing. Gail's trying to be the new reporter, top reporter, trying to reinvent her career. She seemed like she was, sort of washed out in Scream 4. And so Sidney, in a lot of ways, is just completely alone. And that in and of itself can take a mental toll, especially if you add in what she's gone through and experienced, to just be sitting alone in her thoughts, just thinking and constantly, reliving those experiences. It would be completely understandable that she would have this sort of breakdown or manic episode, and then to return to Woodsboro to try to overcome it again. Because Scream 4, she tried to step out of the darkness. She tried to reinvent herself, to show she wasn't scared anymore, to show, here I am, I'm tired of hiding. And then it happens again. And I mean, at some point you got to say, what do I do? And I really would like to see that sort of mental toll being part of the film. I'd really like to see that emotional level. Again, the producers have said repeatedly that this film is going to be a emotional film. Well, this would be a great way to add that emotion, to sort of tie in reality with the movie itself. I mean, it's always been very meta, and anybody in reality that experienced something even remotely close to that would be just devastating. I mean, all the death and carnage she has seen, her friends, her family, her loved ones, just the idea of at any moment it could happen again. Because if it's happened that many times, you have to be thinking, like, when is it coming? When is the other shoe gonna drop? You walk around a corner and you're throwing a ball to make sure no one's over there. The anxiety and that thought of somebody's always watching. I would love to see the sort of the visions of her mother again, or maybe not her mother, but just like maybe Ghostface. Like how interesting would it be to see her operating in everyday life, and everywhere she goes she sees Ghostface. And then when the killings happen again, she has no idea if it's her or not. It's almost like, a Halloween H2O, where Laurie Strode saw Michael everywhere. It's something like that. Give us something similar, where, she goes to the convenience store and she sees somebody dressed up as Ghostface, but it's really nothing there. It would be really cool to see that dynamic, that story unfold, because it's so realistic, it's so believable, it's so understandable that it makes so much sense to give us audience that visual, and you can also tie it in because it's a mental health thing, and I don't want to go too much into mental health because this isn't a mental health channel, but it would be very uplifting, I would assume, for many to see her go through those struggles and overcome it in the end. You know what I mean? Like, to have her be this sort of mental mess for most of the film, and then finally, just say, I'm done. I need to overcome this. It's got to be extremely uplifting for many people that are dealing with, that sort of mind space. And but as always, this is a discussion, and I want to hear from you. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Would you like to see a Scream 5 where it dives into Sidney's sort of mental health, mental mind space, and sort of see that develop on screen? But again, if you haven't yet, like this video. It helps me out a lot. Lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.